Hey friends, thanks for stopping by the channel, enjoying this evening with me. I poured myself a little bit of whiskey and I'm enjoying the evening with the mosquitoes. They're pretty nasty right now. But I thought maybe some of you would be curious as to how I did at the Rendezvous with my shooting, since I had spent quite a bit of time adjusting my sights and everything like that. But before I get into that, I'll just give you a little bit of history of this particular rendezvous here in New Mexico. The name of the rendezvous is Cache La Pleau, and this rendezvous has been in existence for I think like 44, 45 years, maybe even 46. And I've had the privilege of attending this rendezvous since 2006. That's when I moved here to New Mexico. And since then, I've only missed one rendezvous, and that was because of COVID. We all missed a rendezvous that year. Not because I was sick or anything like that, it's because it got canceled. And it's been a really good rendezvous over the years, but you know, as a lot of us are getting older, age is creeping in, time is beginning to take its toll on a lot of the people that I've rendezvoused with over the years. This particular year, we only ended up with 8 camps, 13 shooters. A lot of the reasoning for this year's low attendance is because of the high gas prices. We typically have friends come over from Arizona, some friends come down from Colorado, and some come over from Texas. So it's quite understandable as to the reasoning why those friends didn't want to journey on down. So I thought I would just take this evening and talk a little bit about it and how I did myself. And just to dispel one thing with my long distance, for all the years that I've been rendezvousing, I've been the only guy that's ever taken a telescope to the range. And this rendezvous, like all others, proved to be a eye-opener. It was spot on. It did aid in me acquiring some of those targets that were a little difficult for me to see without my glasses. Just to kind of show everybody in years past what I've accomplished with my Great Plains 30 yards offhand. Now these are just tie-breaking targets. In 2018, this was my tiebreaker, 30 yards offhand. I don't know how well the camera's picking any of this up, but that was my tiebreaker in 2018. 2019, this was my tiebreaker. And as I stated, 2020, it was a bust year, but 2021, that was my tiebreaker. I had a flyer, and I knew that happened as soon as I discharged the firearm. This year, this is this year's tiebreaker. And once again, I knew that that low shot was a flyer because I called it as soon as the gun went off. And those of us that shoot these type of firearms, we know almost immediately when we've pulled our shots. Now, with that being said, this year the tiebreaker was a moot point because there wasn't anything that was requiring a tiebreaker. So how did I do on the rest of the shooting? Well, I actually took first in archery. I took second in the rifle trail walk. I ended up hitting 17 out of 21 targets. I took second in the knife and tomahawk throw. And for me, that's one of the reasons why I actually go to this rendezvous faithful, is because I actually run the knife and tomahawk throws. So that kind of keeps me connected to this rendezvous. And this rendezvous is 7 days long. It usually begins on Saturday morning with the New Mexico Mountain Men having a ham shoot. Most of those guys don't camp any longer. They just come in for the day. I come in and set up on Saturday. Sunday, it's kind of take it easy, and then all the competition starts on Monday morning. So I ended up taking second in the knife and hawk. I also took second in the feather shoot. I took first in the chameleon shoot. And long about Thursday and Friday, we started losing campers. One of the campers ended up getting sick. I've been sick at Rendezvous before, and it's not pleasant. And one of the other campers got a phone call from his wife who got who tested positive for COVID. So we lost 2 campers right there. And then on Saturday morning, a couple of the other campers decided to bug out. So by the time Saturday evening rolled around for the award ceremony, there was only 3 camps left. But some of the competitions, as I mentioned, one was a feather shoot. This was supposed to only prize out first place, but the first round I missed my feather. Second round, the first round, as I stated, I missed my feather, but one of the other shooters got his, so he won. And the bourgeois decided, well, let's go ahead and just prize it out for second place. So we all picked another feather, and I posted my feather, and I shot, and I cut that feather right in half, along with 3 other shooters. So we had another shoot-off, and when I shot, everybody said, hey, did you see your feather move? Well, my feather was still standing. So I didn't see it move through the smoke. But everybody was kind of laughing. You know, Mikey shot so close, he scared the bejesus out of the feather. Well, the other 3 guys had also missed their feather, so we just decided to let the tiebreaker decide who won that. Well, we all cut back to camp, took off for camp, and the segundo decided to pick up the feathers, and he picked up my feather. Now, we know that this was my feather because it was the only orange feather there. And I want everybody to see, when everybody was talking about my feather wiggling, well, it's because I hit it. These, I was guessing about 20 yards offhand. So let me see if I can get in a little bit closer so you can see just how close my shot actually was. So I was just given the second place prize for that. We also had a poker shoot one of the days. And I didn't win that because my hand was the second place hand, actually. The gentleman that won it had 5 aces, and I ended up with 3 kings. But the way the game was played, we had 5 chances to put 2 round balls in that circle. Okay? So I know one of my shots went low because I placed my cards on the Celotex where there wasn't any other holes imprinted so that I could see where I was shooting. I know my first shot went low. This was my second shot. And then my last 3 shots, I know the cards only showed 2 holes, but there's actually 2 round ball in this top hole right here. And when that was discovered, I had 3 or 4 people verify that there's actually 2 round balls in there, and I even had the segundo sign the back of the card so that, you know, this tall tale is verified with the signature. So anyhow, like I said, I didn't win that because the gentleman that actually won it had 3 aces in the hand, and the two shots in the circle became wild cards, so that gave him 5 aces. But all in all, the Rendezvous was good, very quaint, had a lot of good conversations around the campfire, both in the evenings and in the mornings when I would invite the camp over for coffee. That's kind of my thing at Rendezvous. I roast my own coffee beans, and then everybody knows that, and they all know that they're welcomed at my camp in the mornings. Boy, these mosquitoes are really horrible. But anyhow, we had some rain, had some torrential rains first couple of days, and some spotty rains off and on. But that's typical of this particular rendezvous. So I hope you friends have enjoyed this little chat. Let me finish off my whiskey. And I'm going to make my way to the house and get some afterbud. I can tell one of those suckers got me right here. I can feel it swelling up. So anyhow, friends, thanks for watching. Thanks again for subscribing, and welcome to all the new subscribers. And just a quick note here, if you're still looking for accoutrements, please feel free to visit our Etsy store, Lame Beaver Trading Company. It's the same name as this YouTube channel, and I still have an ample supply of pre-lubricated wads for your revolvers. So once again, friends, thanks. I hope everybody will have as blessed of an evening as I'm having right now, with the exception of the bloodsuckers. That's the exception to this. So you folks enjoy the evening. Bye.